Hello and welcome to the Remotely Review. I'm your host, Remotely. Justin Timberlake put out a new single today. This single is featuring SZA. It's called The Other Side. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed. This is Justin Timberlake we're talking about. This is the man of NSYNC, the front man of NSYNC. Justin Timberlake, in my eyes, is already an icon. Okay, he's already legendary in his career. I think he's reached some milestones in his life that other artists, other contemporaries have yet to accomplish. And so I give him props for that. However, 2020, I think he's fallen a little short, at least for the first single. Okay, for the first single. It's not that I don't like the song. I like the song. I like The Other Side. However, it's mediocre considering the fact that this is Justin Timberlake we're talking about. I think that people expect something a little bit more innovative and groundbreaking from a Justin Timberlake. You know, we expect that next level type of music, type of sound from a Justin Timberlake. You know, something like what we got on Future Sex Love Sounds. You know, we're expecting something groundbreaking and new. You know, something that you just like you've never heard of before. You know, this is not it. Okay, to be quite honest with you, after listening to the song, after listening to The Other Side, I was put in this state of a Lucy Pearl, and quite frankly, I felt like it was a copy of Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson's What's It Gonna Be. Yep, not just visually, but even like the sound of it. It just, everything just kind of felt like Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson. Now, if you guys are behind on the story, we're still mad at Justin, okay? The community is still mad at Justin Timberlake for what he did to Janet Jackson, okay? If you didn't know, Janet Jackson, she and Justin Timberlake performed at the Super Bowl a few years ago, and they call it Nipplegate, okay? It's called Nipplegate. And if you don't know the story, check it out because I don't want to rehash it. But anyway, people expected Justin Timberlake to come to Janet Jackson's aid and kind of rescue her from all the scrutiny and ridicule that she was suffering from that particular incident. But Justin Timberlake was nowhere to be found. He never came out and spoke about the incident or took any responsibility for it. He just allowed Janet to suffer all of the backlash, and it hurt her career. It did. Her career suffered. Janet Jackson was unable to perform on any CBS networks or programs from that date. If the fans can't see you perform, then, how do they know to buy your record? Not everyone listens to the radio, okay? And so it hurt Janet's career. And so the community is still upset and mad with Justin Timberlake. I think with this particular video and this particular single, this was his attempt to redeem himself and kind of win his way back into our hearts. But you gotta come a little bit better than that, Justin. You gotta come a little bit better, okay? I'm expecting something just, top of the line, upper echelon type of stuff, and I know you've got it in you. If it requires you to go back into the studio and work with Timbaland and Beyonce or some stuff like that, like, this is what you need to do. And don't get me wrong, I like SZA. SZA is a great artist. Like, I'll buy any of her music. SZA is that great, okay? But this was not that perfect match. The Other Side is not that dynamic duo, okay? I don't know if you guys can recall, but Justin Timberlake did a collaboration with Ciara, and it was called Love, Sex, and Magic. That song and video, The Other Side, reminds me of Love, Sex, and Magic with Ciara, but I'm going to tell you this. Justin Timberlake and Ciara is a better combo than a Justin Timberlake and SZA. Huh? Yeah. I prefer Justin Timberlake with Ciara, and Love, Sex, and Magic, to be quite frank, was a better song than The Other Side. So, when we're comparing, the current work to the previous work overshadows the current work, Justin. Okay, so you got to go back into the studio and cook up something else. Give us something else to grab hold of, because we like you. We're still mad at you, but we like you. Okay, and we want you to win. All right. Now, 2020 is supposed to be a big year in music. I think it's going to be huge. You know, you've got a lot of artists that are going on tour, releasing albums. Jhené Aiko is going to release her third studio album. It's called Chilombo, and that's going to be released on March 6th. Okay. You're going to have Cher going out on tour. You know Beyonce is going to come out with something. And then you've got Adele, who's going to release an album. I think she gave us a September date. Okay, Adele's coming back. You know, anytime Adele comes back, it's huge. It's a monumental type of experience with an Adele. Okay, and so you've got Justin Timberlake, who's likely going to release a full album this year, 2020. All right, and we need that to be grand. We need it to be big. You know, you don't have to go back and give us Future Sex Love sounds because we've heard that before, but you do have to give us something that is either just as good, if not better than that. You know what I mean? And there's tons of artists out here that I think Justin would gel with. I think Justin Timberlake should do a collaboration with a Kendrick Lamar. You know, put Kendrick Lamar on the track. You know, if it requires you to do so, go back and work with Jay-Z, okay? You guys were great on Suit and Tie, and you guys were great on Holy Grail. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I actually happened to be on the set of that Holy Grail music video. Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake were both present, and I had the opportunity to meet Justin Timberlake, and I'm going to tell you something. He's a pleasantry, okay, to be around, and also to witness his dance skills, like, in person, is something out of this world. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anybody move the way Justin Timberlake moves. I've seen Beyonce live in concert. I've seen Chris Brown, Omarion. Like, I've seen these people, you know, move their bodies. But the way that Justin Timberlake executes an 8 count, there's no contender. There's no contender, no competition. Hands down, bar none, Justin Timberlake takes the cake. He cuts a rug, okay? And so I can vouch for him for being a phenomenal performer. He's a performer. This is why I like the guy. Justin Timberlake is a real performer, okay? This is why I also hold him to a higher standard, and I expect a little bit more from him, okay? So, again, I reiterate, the other side is not it. It almost reminds me of what Justin Bieber did with Yummy. However, I actually liked Yummy. You know, it wasn't, you know, that upper echelon type of stuff. It wasn't that high standard, innovative, groundbreaking, next level type of stuff, but it was something that I could jam to and vibe to, you know, in my own free time. This though, the other side, no. Even the visual itself, like the music video, it was great. It was real shiny, it was glossy. You had SZA in there dancing around, and you know, they were just acting real goofy. She was dressed very nicely. She had on her best garb, you know what I mean? But it was too reminiscent of something that I had already seen before. You know what I mean? I didn't get my life from it. I did not get my life from it. I didn't get my life from it. I wanted to get my life from it, but I didn't get my life from it. You know what I mean? It just didn't happen. Okay? And so I'm giving Justin all of the opportunity to come back and redeem himself, because the last album he put out, I think it was called Man of the Wild. Wow, did that disappoint. You know, that was a disaster. I don't know what that was. I simply attributed that to perhaps this is Justin trying to reach or re-energize a certain portion of his fan base. Okay, it's kind of like what Lady Gaga did with Art Pop. Now, a lot of people did not buy Art Pop. However, I understood what that was all about. You know, Lady Gaga didn't make Art Pop for her entire fan base. She wasn't trying to please the world. She was simply trying to reach a particular portion of her audience. Now, Art Pop, I'm sure, did quite well over in like Germany and Amsterdam and stuff like that, where that, you know, like maybe Holland even. You know, these are places where that EDM, that electric dance music, is popular. Okay. This is where they rave a lot. This is where they just go in there, you know, with their colorful bracelets, and, you know, they're just all in there jamming and moving their bodies all around. That's the kind of music that Lady Gaga did on Art Pop, okay? And I could appreciate it. It was something enjoyable to me. But I also was aware of the fact that she wasn't trying to please everybody with that album. And perhaps that's what Justin Timberlake was doing with Man of the Wild. Okay, don't get me wrong, there were maybe a couple of tracks that you could kind of vibe to, but for the most part, it was just material that it just didn't satisfy, I think, the main audience. It wasn't for that, that general Justin Timberlake audience. Okay, and it suffered. The sales were very poor. The sales were very poor. I'm not even sure if the album charted. You know what I mean? But hey, like I said, he's got time to redeem himself. And let's hope in the process he maybe works with Janet Jackson or does something to kind of rectify that situation, because Janet Jackson is going on tour this year. Janet Jackson has announced her tour, and she's going to do a world tour. And so she's been making her rounds. She's just out and about, just kind of reclaiming her territory as Janet Jackson. Okay? And so I look forward to seeing Janet on tour, and let's hope that maybe Justin will join her on stage. Okay? You're watching the Remotely Review. You're watching the Remotely Review. I'm your host, Remotely. Okay, so here we go. Jada Pinkett decided to have Snoop Dogg on her Facebook show. It's called Red Table Talk. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I've never seen a full episode of it, but I've seen clips on my Instagram. And the last thing I saw was an interview she did with Snoop Dogg, and apparently they're giving him the third degree, basically badgering and giving him the guilt trip for the statements or the comments or the reply that he gave Gayle in response to her questioning Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. Now, look, I'm just going to say it. Jada Pinkett, you take an L. You take a big L for that, okay? Because we're not even mad at Snoop Dogg, okay? Like, Snoop Dogg didn't do anything. You can leave him alone, okay? We're still mad at Gayle King. We're still mad at Gayle King. Doesn't matter what you guys do, try and spin it. We're still mad at Gayle King, okay? Snoop Dogg didn't do anything. He simply spoke his mind. He expressed what we were all feeling, okay? Gayle King was completely out of line for that questioning, okay? There's no turning back from that. There's no coming back from it, okay? And for you guys to sit there and basically chastise Snoop Dogg and give him the third degree and try to make him feel guilty for what he said, no, he was standing up for us. So for you guys to do that is absolutely wrong. It was ridiculous. I don't respect that. I can't respect it. Like, stop doing that. It's not like this man was out trying to bash black women. He was not trying to bring anybody down. Snoop Dogg was calling a spade, okay? He was calling a spade. That's all it is. We're not mad at Snoop Dogg. Stop trying to turn him into that. Nobody is mad at Snoop Dogg. If you go look at all the comments on Instagram and the Twitters and stuff like that, nobody's mad at Snoop Dogg. We're still rocking with Snoop Dogg, okay? So, Red Table Talk can forget it. Alright? And so, you know what? Like, it almost makes me not want to watch that show, because if this is what you guys are going to do, if you guys are going to turn this man into basically an antagonist and then turn Gayle King into the victim, when? Where? How does that happen? Gayle King was completely out of line. And I stand firmly by that. I don't care how many apologies she might give. I don't care how she tries to spin it. CBS was not responsible for that, okay? Gayle King knew what she said, okay? She knew what she said. And Snoop Dogg just called a spade. That's it. Okay? So Snoop Dogg, we're not mad at you, okay? Like, dude, keep... You know what I mean?